Yo, what is up, guys? It's Gus with Stock Trading TV. Shitty day of trading today. Broke a lot of rules. Overtraded. The morning went like this.
Too soon, Junior.
So we were down. I was down about $750 towards the end of the day, about 3 o'clock or so. Overtraded, a lot of failed signals. Stop losses weren't necessarily executed to my liking, and ended up the day recovering with a short on NVDA. Ended up the day $53 in the plus, and luckily I had some free trades from Ameritrade from some issue earlier this week. So let's hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes, and let's go from there. So let's recap the first trades done today was CRON, NEO, NVIDIA, ASNS, CGC, and Apple. Normally more than I usually trade. I only do a couple trades a day, maybe 2 to 3. Really all you need is one good idea, execute it properly for you to make your day. But again, it's very easy to blame it on the choppy environment in the market, but at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own trades, not the market, not Trump, not fucking, it doesn't matter what it is. You got to take responsibility for your trading. So, there's no shame in admitting when you're wrong. In fact, it's when it comes to trading, it's encouraged to do so, to recognize when you're wrong, so you can stop out and not hold on to bags. So, let's take a look. First trade was CRON in the morning, trying to buy the dips here. So let's take a look. So starting with CRON here in the pre-market, okay, so you can see CRON had been trying to reach for that 13 level and it keeps failing. But every dip, as it seemed, it was recovering, it was squeezing. So every dip, so to me, it was a strong stock. All the stocks in the morning, as far as the pot stocks, were up a little bit, kind of a little bit of a gap up here and there. So normally I would trade CRON anywhere between 2,000 to 5,000 shares. It all depends on the price action for that particular day. So I decided, let me pull up my trades here, okay? And let's take this morning's action. All right, so looking at the 2-minute, I saw it ramp up, test 13. And here's a very important lesson. You got to trade what you see, not what you think. So my thinking this morning was, okay, CRON is more than likely finally, because it's been correcting through time after the news of the buy-in from the tobacco company. It's been corrected. Price has been holding, so I figured today it was going to bust through 13 finally. So I decided, let me take a starter position. So it took $500 in the pre-market, and as you can see it, you can see the fills right here. Average of 1283. So I figured, let's start off there. In case it dips to 270 or so, I'll continue to add and build a position from there. Now I'm going to switch over to the 5-minute chart and let's see how that went. Okay, so immediately at the open, it started dipping, so I added a little more, then added a little more, and I was expecting some type of recovery, some type of situation like this. Okay, and maybe another test of 13. However, once this candle came in, immediately this candle came in, and I pretty much saw a game over. Okay, and 1250 has been it's been a level of importance for CRON. So once I saw that it started flagging, this is a clear bear flag right here. Let's take a look. When you're in a trade and you recognize that there's a problem there, okay, it's forming a bear flag under previous support, more often than not, this thing's gonna fail. Okay, and my signal to get out was right here on this test of the 20 SMA. I knew I should have been out, but I was only 1,500 shares, so I was just like, I'm just gonna give it time. Just gonna give it time. And sometimes, man, even a small position can start getting out of hand. So immediately I saw this drop of this bear flag, and I got a rebound. And at that rebound, there was no questions asked. I needed to cut the trade and move on. Because am I gonna sit there and hold? Do I still believe CRON will probably test 13 and break through at some point? I do. But what's the sense in holding? And look what I just saved myself. All this downside. You know, I could have been sitting here. It's dead money. You're better off putting your money to work elsewhere. That being said, I did break a rule. I don't normally buy pre-market for an intraday swing, so I don't even know why I did that. But again, it's because of the small share size. You kind of get too confident, maybe a little careless. So, anyways, down 442.81 on that one. And but again, you know, we cut it short. We cut it early. And, you know, I could have done better. I could have cut it up here, and I would have been almost at break. I would have been down like a couple $100, you know, and just minimize that loss. But just didn't pan out. Today wasn't the day. So, moving on. NEO. Let's take a look at NEO. NEO today. That was a waste of a trade. I actually had a decent profit on this. So I took the trade here at 740 on this break. You know, I saw it come out. I kind of didn't. I wanted to get it in here, but NEO sometimes gets very sketchy and it pulls. You know, so I wanted to see. I wanted for you know, yesterday I was looking at it. I wanted for it to pull a nice straight move and then see what happens from there. So I saw the price was holding. And, you know, decided to take it on the break of 740 here. And I thought, you know, my thought was it should do at least 760, where I was getting ready to unload at 757. And it kind of stalled here. I saw it stall. You know, you can see the wicks. You know, the price tells you everything, man. It's you can see this candle right here, this little doji. You can see this failed, and once it failed, you got another candle down. At that point, the move is down. It's done. So, the stock came back to break even, and at that point, because I already had the loss from CRON, you know, my goal is just to protect capital. You know, I didn't care. You know, I lost $10.86, and you know, I stopped out at break even because I saw it break through this support right here, 739, and I said, okay, if it breaks again, I'm out. And just before I saw the 739, I stopped out, and later on you can see what it did. You can see that 755 now. There's a lot of supply out here, so we'll leave that one alone. So moving on to the next trade, NVDA, or no, this was ASNS. It's another one. Let's see. This was, and mind you, on CRON, I had the chance to take 300, but I thought it would give it a little more. Same thing with this one, cut it short real fast. We had 2,000 shares at 411 right before this break. You know, I figured, you know, I was looking for the flag. Here's the flagpole, looking for the flag, bought the break, and I was getting ready to unload at 427. I figured there'd be a little bit more of a squeeze on this, and sure enough, it immediately failed. We got another doji, one of these dojis here, and it just started failing. And so once I got to break even, no questions asked, I stopped out, and that was it for that trade. I definitely saved myself from any further downside. So all in all, it's still a good trade. My target was 427. That didn't happen. I protected capital. And which is the most important part, is you have to protect capital. That should be number one, and the chart tells you the story. Your goal here should be number one. You know, protecting capital at all times. So this was a good trade for me. Plan was followed, and it is what it is. So moving on to the next one, CGC. Let's see. Let me remove this. Extended hours trading session. What was I looking for on CGC? Let me turn this off real quick. Trades. And CGC I lost $88. No big deal. I was looking for a break of this flag. Okay, so this was a nice flag, 5 minute, nice, decent daily chart. But I was looking for some form of a move. At least 320. And I didn't go crazy with the share size because I'm not too, I don't trade this one often. And let me see, where did I take these trades? I'm going to zoom into the 2 minute chart. Well, here it is. All right, so 32.79, 32.83. I forget what the average was, but I took it here. You got a little bit of a break, and then you just kind of got this a smaller flag here into the 20, and I took it, and it kind of ramped up, but it kind of started failing, and it just kind of gave way. It didn't do what I was expecting it to do, and once that doesn't happen, no questions asked. You got to cut it. It's out. It's a done deal. And sure enough, took a small loss, like I said, $88, and as you can see how important it is to take your stop losses. You sit there and wonder, and hopefully it'll come back up. What if it doesn't? You know, you're best off assume that it's never going to come back. So, and if it does go away, it doesn't matter. If it keeps going your way, it doesn't matter. You put it on your trading journal, and then you figure out your stats, what's going on. But you don't base it on any individual trade. Next trade, Apple. It was a small. Apple was a small scalp. Let's see, what's today? Let's see, Tuesday's trading. What did I do here? Let's see. Wednesday. All right. No, here it is. So Apple. All right, so you can see, let me draw the line in the sand here. It tested 171.50, so the 50 level, 171. And I wanted to buy, I like to buy when it breaks through the 20 and it pulls back to that 20. But I just wasn't feeling it at that time, so I decided to wait for the break. So I caught it here, 171.54, and sold a break at 171.63. Nothing crazy. Quick scalp. I did not trust the break, and that's why I sold early. And as you can see, you know, it just immediately failed. So it's $108. And what else we got? We went CGC, Neo, CRON, NVDA. Let's take a look at NVDA. NVDA. Let me take a look at my phone, see if I missed another one. NVIDIA, let's see. All right. Yeah, this was a short, and at first, let me take a look here. At first, I got shaken out of my first short, and I love taking when I look, I look for these rounding tops, then a flush, and then a rush to the 20 SMA. Like you could call it a bear flag. Okay, I like trading these bear flags into the 20 SMA. But as you can see, immediately I was, the idea was right. The problem was that since I was already down in the day, I was being very, very quick with my stop. So immediately when this came down here and it started pulling, and I saw the S&P 500 kind of and the Qs actually put up a quick candle. I got shaken out for a $108 loss at first on NVIDIA, and then I decided to wait it out. I zoomed out into the 5-minute chart, and I attacked it again here on this other flag, and I caught it. And it's important, man. When you're down, you have to remain. You have to keep your composure. It's just. These are just notches on a series of trades. You don't make your money on any individual trade. You make your money over a series of trades. So yes, they started off rough, but I know my process. As long as I continue to trade that process, I'll continue to have a positive equity curve. And that's the only thing that matters. Equity curve. Okay? You have anybody out there showing you what they made today, and they could be down for the entire fucking year. I can show you everything here. Losses, wins, doesn't matter. I entered here, I covered here for a small loss, then I saw the leg down, and then, looking at the markets, the Qs and the S&P 500, I saw that form, and I was like, okay, I'll take it again if it forms another bear flag towards the 20 on the 5-minute. And this is one of my favorite setups. You got the rounding top, you got a double top, okay? You got price rolling over, big candle, bear flag, right up until the 20. That's where I took it. 1574. You couldn't get any more textbook than that. And 500 shares at 150.74, and covered here on the wash just before it started rebounding again at 149.11. So let me zoom into the 2 minutes so you can take a look at that, where that was. So 149.11. The minute it just flushes, boom, that's where I'm taking my profits. And that was that. So let me take a look here and see if I missed anything else. Oh, yes, ALQA. A little bit of a penny. This thing, if you look at the daily, this thing's a former runner, okay, and it's been down for a couple days, and I've been watching this, waiting for some signs of volume, but I totally fumbled it because I took it here. I figured it was going to break 250, and shorts were going to get squeezed. I got in a little late, 1,000 shares, 248, but it was a small amount of shares because this thing is very crazy. So, but immediately as it started failing, 250, I was like, I need to be out. But I didn't. I held it, and then I eventually got out at 227. So, $207 loss there. Not proud of this trade. This wasn't good management. I knew what I needed to look for. I knew this thing needed to pop on that second 5-minute candle, and it didn't. And so I had a chance to get out at break even, and I didn't take it. So need to improve on that. And but yeah, other than that, total of $53.79 for the day. We're still up nicely for the week, and that's just how trading is. Sometimes you're going to have some crazy days. The environment's not the same environment that was earlier this year, so makes things a little bit more tricky. So trying to adjust at this point. Tomorrow's goal would be to not overtrade and just wait for the optimal setups. I'm going to try to step away, zoom out into the 15-minute chart and wait for setups on the 15-minute so that I don't get chopped intraday with these, in these 5-minute, 2-minute candles. And then we're going to go from there. So look out for tomorrow's trade recap. Like I said, I got a website coming up, and I'm also going to be doing a lot of educational videos. For those of you who want to learn, there's a lot of bullshit out there, and a lot of misinformation, hopefully you guys can benefit from this. Anyways, man, it's Gus signing off. Don't forget rule number 1.
Number 1 rule of Wall Street. Nobody, I don't care if you're Warren Buffett or if you're Jimmy Buffett, nobody knows if the stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or in fucking circles. Least of all stockbrokers. Right? It's all a fugazi.